Hey guys, Jay here, and welcome to another healing guide on Throne and Liberty. Healing is the most crucial role in both PvP and PvE. It is a great way to play, but it can be a little intimidating for new players. So today, I want to run down a quick beginner's PvE guide to my wand bow healers out there, as this is the ultimate healing class for Throne and Liberty. First step is understanding the role of a healer. This is crazy to think, but I want you guys to understand that the role of healers is to actually heal. I have seen many guides out there suggesting how to heal, but almost make healing a second priority to damage while doing dungeons or other PvE events. In my humble healing opinion, especially when starting out, I would respectfully disagree. You are slotted and invited as a healer to maintain the health of your team so that they can do massive amounts of damage without fear of dying. A healthy team will enable your DPS and tanks to blow through their damage cooldowns without having to run away or cause them to bring more survivability skills. Yes, damage is important to assist, but your primary focus as a healer should be healing. Think about it this way: if you put yourself in a crossbow dagger's shoes and notice your health is below half, you'll be more focused on mitigating damage and running away from that damage versus doing damage, which ultimately distracts from the role of a DPS or tank that they signed up for. With that, let's discuss the gear and stat inputs for PvE. For PvE, having a well-rounded stat distribution is important because it will make us healers more versatile for bosses and mobs. I recommend prioritizing strength and wisdom, followed by perception to hit your stat achievement effects. In my example, I'm able to maintain 40s in all three because I feel like this is a decent spread for both survivability and healing. As far as gear goes, I recommend going for gear that you know you'll use late game. For me, I'll be jumping into PvP in the late game, so I'm attempting to get all my PvP gear, which will be just fine for PvE as well, and I will discuss PvP in another video. But for PvE, try your best to prioritize items with first base stat increases, then max health for survivability, then melee and ranged endurance for additional survivability, and then finally max mana. Once you get into higher tiers, we'll start looking at mana cost efficiency, skill damage boost, but for now, let's just focus on survivability. For weapons, again, mine are PvP focused, but I still highly recommend going for the Lucurious Coveted Tome and the Carnix Bow, as they provide great passives, base stats, and traits. If you want to know the end game gear I'm going for, feel free to let me know in the comments to make a video on it, and also let me know what gear you'll be going for. Next, skills. This is the bread and butter of a healer, so bringing the correct healing skills is vital. But just remember, as long as you are attempting to heal your teammates, you'll be just fine. For weapon skills, I recommend the following as they provide you with the most healing output while getting important spam damage spells. The goal for the DPS side of this healing build is to bring damage spells that we can spam so that we can go right back to healing. With that, this set includes a lot of AOE healing in case the whole team is getting wiped, but we will go over the rotation shortly, so don't worry. For weapon mastery for the wand, run the middle until a redemptive penance, and then run the rest of the top line. For bow, run the top line and then halfway through the middle. Remember, these will only be active if you have your weapon out and will not stack with each other. But as a rule of thumb for bow and wand, we will always have the wand out as it provides the most healing. For passives, run all your healing and protection passives, and finally the curse passive to help with damage increase. Our goal here is to maximize our healing potential so that we can enable our team to do their roles effectively. For skill specialization, starting with the wand, I like to get the increased duration Touch of Despair spec to increase dot damage. Then I pair that with all three curse explosion specs to again spam and maintain single target damage. Now for healing, swift healing, I recommend getting these three specs as we will be able to heal ourselves and teammates more efficiently. For Clay's Salvation, bring weaken removal as again, we are the healers and want to make sure no one in our group is worried about their weaknesses. And also Radius to help maximize this skill. Lastly, for Fountain of Life, bring mana recovery and radius increase to help strengthen all of our party members. For bow specs, under strafing, hit these two to increase the damage, and then the next for Nature's Blessing, Vitality and Whirlpool are huge for PvE in case people in the group make mistakes. For Healing Touch, grab duration increased as this synergizes well with Flash Wave. Finally, turn Flash Arrow into Flash Wave to tie the knot on the ultimate PvE healing class. Alright, now let's jump into the rotation, and as we do that, let's first talk about healing priorities. Tank, tank, tank. Do not let your tank die. Always make sure you know where he's at and give him healing touch often to maintain his health. Next priority is, well, yourself. If you die, then no one is getting healed and most likely the party wipes. Then lastly, your DPS. For the rotation, I'll try to make it simple as possible, but remember healing should always be the first thought. However, if everyone is healthy, then first throw down Deadly Marker and all your curses and spam your other damage spells as well. Once you finish damage, always use Fountain of Life on cooldown and get as many people in your circle as you can. Remember to run in it as well for mana regen. Additionally, you want to use Flash Arrow on cooldown while running through mobs, and be sure to hit your teammates as well to do damage and great healing over time. Now, quick tip, if you accidentally use Flash Arrow, you can cancel it by dodge rolling. You want to use both of these on cooldown to make healing less strenuous for you. The idea is the more prep you do for incoming damage, the less spam healing you need to do, and the more mana efficient you'll become. Next, ensure you are using Healing Touch as a dot healing on your tank to make sure he's got constant healing. This stacks up to 3 times for effective passive heals. And now for the healing skills rotation. This will depend on the situation, but you can follow this basic recommendation. First, if someone is taking a lot of damage to the point where they are about to die, you have Flash Heal. This will heal yourself in the process because of our spec. Now, remember our other specs proc with Healing Touch. For example, if someone has low health, first use Healing Touch, then Nature's Blessing. If they're still dying, use Flash Arrow, and there's almost no way they won't be at full health. If Nature's Blessing is on cooldown, then feel free to use Healing Touch, then Flash Arrow. Try your best to avoid using only Swift Healing because it will use up a lot of mana and should be primarily used for emergency situations. The goal for our healing is to make sure that we have enough mana to maintain a long fight and keep everyone safe. Now, if everyone is dying, remember what I said earlier, get you and your tank healthy, then everyone else. So in the event that everyone is taking tons of damage, I recommend first getting your AOE heals out, starting with Clay's Salvation to give you breathing room and determine healing priorities. Then, followed by Fountain of Life, Flash Arrow to get everyone's health back. Notice how I didn't say anything about damage when everyone is dying. If your team is on the verge of death, please stop doing damage. You will wipe if you don't heal. And as you get the hang of it, you can start to do both. But as we're starting out and learning, focus on your role of healing. To recap, our role as the healer is to keep everyone as healthy as possible to enable them to effectively do their respective roles. Damage will always be secondary until everyone is healthy. Alright guys, I hope I went over everything for you in a way that makes sense. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment if I missed anything or if you need more clarification. Remember, we are all learning how to do this, so if you have any recommendations for me, leave it below as I want to improve as well. Best of luck, and remember, just breathe. The fact that you chose healing is a testament to your character to ultimately help others.